What's up, Vikings fans? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, the Vikings could be in trouble versus the Chicago Bears unless they do this. And then also, we got our world-famous mailbag where I answer your guys' questions on the second half of today's show. So all of that coming up in just a second. But before we dive into it, we are in a sub-battle this week versus our Bears Now show. And I was looking at the analytics here on YouTube, and we're actually just 5 subscribers back. So if you guys could help me out here, I'm a competitive dude. Harrison Graham, he's our host of our Bears Now channel. He's a competitive dude as well. So I would love to beat him. So if you guys haven't already, hit that sub button. Help us reach 45,000 subs here on YouTube. So I'd appreciate it. And plus, if you guys don't want to miss a thing around your Vikes, subscribe today. So the Vikings are in trouble versus the Chicago Bears if Caleb Williams gets hot and carves up the Vikings defense. Now, we saw it. Caleb, back in week 12, man, he was fantastic against the Minnesota Vikings. That was honestly my biggest shocker from that game was how good Caleb looked, specifically against the blitz, which he also has been a lot better against the blitz this season compared to not getting pressured at all. But, man, against the Vikes, 32 of 47, 340 and 2. Now, a lot of those yards and that one touchdown came in garbage time, but the Bears ended up getting the onside kick, so people don't want to call it garbage time. But, again, if they didn't get the onside kick, we wouldn't really be talking about Caleb's performance, but he looked good. And, you know, Caleb reminds me, and he kind of reminds me of Steph Curry. And what I mean by that is I'm going to go like early NBA career Steph Curry, where he was a guy where it's like, hey, if he got an easy layup, if he got a wide open three and he saw them get knocked through, like then he kind of blacks out where all he's seeing for the rest of the game is back rim. Well, I think in week 12, the Vikings let Caleb get comfortable early. He saw a couple easy completions. He had some big-time throws, and he just really started to get rolling. He started feeling himself a little bit. But also, I think this time in the bank with the crowd noise, Brian Flores' typical mug look, I don't think the Vikings will let Caleb get as comfortable as he did back in week 12. But, hey, Caleb's got weapons to throw to. All three of these guys are very, very good wide receivers. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze. It's actually funny. Rome Odunze's dad early on this week tweeted out that Rome would have had 1,500 yards if he was on any other NFC North team. Hey, Mr. Odunze, I'm being honest right now. Rome wouldn't be playing for the Minnesota Vikings. Just want to make that clear. You also probably wouldn't be playing for the Detroit Lions, and you would maybe get reps with the Green Bay Packers. I would be lucky that he was drafted by the Bears over any of the other 3 teams in the NFC North. But Keenan Allen's still fantastic. He killed the Vikes last time they played, and they've been really using DJ Moore more like Deebo Samuel. They've been getting him handoffs. They've been getting him quick screens. So, watch out for these 3 guys. But, even though I was saying the Vikings could be in trouble if they let Caleb Williams get going, I just don't think that's going to be the case. I'm very confident the Vikings winning this weekend. You're a 7-point favorite for a reason. So I expect the Vikings to have Caleb seeing ghost on Monday night. I think just a combination of the crowd noise, the elite pressure, just overall how our defense kind of just confuses young quarterbacks. And, what have been the quarterbacks that have killed the Vikings this season? It's been Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. Those guys are statuesque. They like to stay in the pocket. And when Caleb, he's more of a playmaker, and I think that's a very, volatile play style against the Minnesota Vikings because you'll have your highs, but you'll also have your extreme lows. So I'm hoping Caleb comes out there swinging it, and I think Caleb will possibly throw a couple interceptions this weekend. But I'll ask you guys this. Will Caleb throw an INT this Monday night? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down below in the comment section. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Now we'll dive into our mailbag here in a second, but first, I do want to give a massive shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Game Time. Now, if you guys download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS, you guys will get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Now, Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Now, my favorite feature of the Game Time app is their views from your seat feature they have, which gets you a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you even buy. So if you guys are trying to go to a Minnesota Wild, Timberwolves, or even a Vikings game, Game Time is the best way to do so. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, my favorite part of my week where I just get to answer questions from you guys. Garrett Russborough saying, it pains me to ask this. Should the Vikings get a young safety to pair with Cam Bynum and Josh Metellus? I love Harrison Smith, but his age is showing. He still makes plays for us, but he is old. Garrett, it pains me to answer this question, but I agree with you. I don't really know when Harry is going to hang up the cleats. If I had to give a guess, it would probably be end of next season. So we'll get him for the rest of this year and all of next year. But, eventually that retirement is coming. And I love Cam Bynum. I love Josh Metellus. But Cam Bynum, you got to extend him. Josh Metellus, you're going to have to extend him here pretty soon. So I think this honestly comes down to, Garrett, is like, let's just say Brian Flores signs an extension with the Vikings this offseason. And he's like locked in to be our DC for the next couple of years. Then you got to go get another safety, especially a versatile safety, because we all know that's what Flores likes to do. He likes to put his safeties in the box. He likes to put his safeties even coming off the edge, and that's why Josh Metellus and Harrison Smith have had just some great careers under Flores. But I'm with you. I think they're going to have to address the safety position soon. I don't know if it's this offseason. I would probably guess next offseason. Movie Talk Studios, what up, man? Saying Sam now deserves a starting spot, not on a different team, but Minnesota. Sports media and some fans have the Darnold blinder still on. They say he's good, but needs to be somewhere else. But the offense is clicking, and he's staying. I totally agree with what you're saying, especially about the blinders. And, it's just natural because, I think first impressions are lasting impressions. And our first impression of Sam Darnold in the National Football League was ugly. Like the whole scene ghost nonsense that everybody likes to say about a quarterback struggling, that happened from when Sam Darnold actually squared off with Brian Flores, funny enough, back in New England. But that whole kind of reputation he had for himself back in New York, I still feel like people can't kind of push through that barrier and be like, no, Sam Darnold is a very, very good quarterback. Listen, I hope he stays. I think right now, as I'm recording this, my ideal contract for him would be 2 years, $50 million. Again, another team will probably offer him more than that. But if I'm Darnold's agent, I'm telling him, hey, look at what happened to Kirk Cousins when he left. Different situations. Kirk's 36, coming off a torn Achilles. But I also believe Kevin O'Connell, there's just some magic stuff he puts in the quarterback's back pocket every single week. So Darnold, hopefully he stays. But, we got to wait and see how that plays out. Jake, that guitar player, what up? Cannot wait to wear my Winter Warrior Addison jersey for Monday. They're going to look so sick. Also, my question for you, Pat, is what is your fave Vikes jersey? I'll go with my fave Vikings jersey that I own. I got a Jefferson and a Moss one. Those are up there. I had an Eric Kendricks one, which I was a big fan of, obviously when it was like the Zimmer days, so I like that one. Adrian Peterson's up there for me. I have a new J.J. McCarthy one. It's actually a Winter Warrior jersey. Maybe I'll wear that on Monday. But favorite, if I had to get one right now, I would probably go Jonathan Grenard. He's locked up for 3 years, one of the best edge rushers in the league, and plus that's kind of a unique jersey. But an all-time jersey that I want to get is Fran Tarkenton. I think it's awesome. I think it's super just swaggy when you see somebody wearing a Fran Tarkenton jersey. So, Jake, I appreciate that question, man. Shout out to you. Harvey, what up? What about franchise tagging Darnold and seeing if he can do it twice, or will that just do more harm than good for the team? Skull, Pat. Skull to you, Mr. Harvey. I got a lot of thoughts on the tag. The biggest negative of the franchise tag would be, if you pay Sam Darnold that $41 million, it is on the books for next season. You can't add void years. You can't add dead cap. And if the Vikings, they got $68 million to spend in free agency. If they just take $41 million of it to Sam Darnold and the tag, you're kind of not screwing yourself for next season, but you're obviously limiting your spending in free agency. Now, the positives of that, you bring Darnold back for another year. You're not just letting him walk out the door. And like you said, you get another look at him for a full season, because even if you do think this is just kind of a fluky year, he's still the same guy that he once was, tagging him would allow you to get a bigger sample size. But, listen, there's pros and cons on the whole thing. But pretty much, I hope they keep him, and I hope it's on a team-friendly deal. Obviously, that's me, more wishful thinking than critical thinking. But, Harvey, I appreciate you, man. Roger coming in, saying, are the Bears the new Lions of the North? Oh, talking about them just being the bottom feeders. I'm going to say yes and no. the Bears still scare me for the next couple of years, and it's just going to come down to their head coach. Like if they end up, like what if they hire Flores, and then what if they hire Josh McCown as their OC? That would terrify me. Because Caleb, obviously, very, very talented football player. But again, like the Bears, there's just a stench of just loser in that organization. And it's going to take a culture setter to get that out of there. Like if they hire Vrabel and they get a good offensive coordinator, yeah, I'd be a little scared of the Bears. But are they the new Lions of the North? I don't know if they'll be bottom feeders for the next 5-10 years, since they do have a very talented young quarterback on a cost-controlled contract. So, Roger, I appreciate you, but I'm going to go yes and no on that one. Movie Talk, what up? Same mailbag. Crazy that you and me said Darnold wasn't the fit for us when we went against the Jags. If you remember, it aged like milk. I mean, dude, after that Jags game, I was nervous, Movie Talk, because that was also coming off the Colts game where he didn't look good, and then the Jags game when he had three interceptions, went 0 for 5 in the red zone. Like, yeah, I was terrified of Sam Darnold going full pumpkin mode. But what did he do after that game? He went to Tennessee, played great. He went to Chicago, played great. He was back at home versus the Cardinals, played great. And then this past weekend, he was amazing against the Atlanta Falcons. So, yeah, I mean, and that's also, like, I'm sure I'll get comments eventually be like, dude, you flip-flopped on your take about Sam Darnold. Like, you were saying they shouldn't extend him, and then you were saying they should extend him. Guys, every game I get, I'm going to have a changed opinion on who Darnold is. And also, the Vikings front office, Kwesi, all those guys up top, they're probably going on a game-to-game basis right now. I'm sure Kwesi, after the Jags game as well, was saying, man, do we have a problem here at quarterback? Do we need to go sign Ryan Tannehill? Do we need to go start Daniel Jones? Like, I'm sure those are all conversations they had, but he has turned that around. Again, everything updates every day in the NFL. And not only with fans, but with front offices as well. But Movie Talks, I appreciate you. Last question coming in from EV, saying, should Minnesota extend Stephon Gilmore? Oh, I love Gilly Locks, but I'm going to say no. I mean, he's 34 years old, dealing with a hamstring injury right now. Now, yes, the Vikings have a need at corner. Gilmore, Murphy, Griffin, all going to be free agents. But if I had to pick one corner to extend, it's got to be the man with 6 interceptions. It would be Byron Murphy. I think he's played very good this year. He's obviously, got a little Trayvon Diggs in him, where it's like, yeah, he'll get a lot of interceptions, but also get beat a lot. But yeah, if I had to pick any of the 3 corners who are set to be free agents, I'm going to go Stephon Gilmore, or I'm going to go Byron Murphy over Stephon Gilmore. Now, if you guys made it to the end of today's show, just give me a skull down below in the comments section. We'll use this as a real one roll call. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be live here on the channel tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, so tune in then. Also, I'm on Twitter, @PatSeeps. Give me a follow over there, and I'll give you guys a follow right back. But thank you guys so much for watching today's show. As always, ladies and gentlemen, Skol Vikes.